be good. Please stand by. Good afternoon, everybody. It's time once again for Strat-O-Matic baseball. Today, today it's Sunday, of course, so all series wrapping up. The third game of a three-game series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. The Dodgers won the first two games of the series. Of course, the Cubs at 1-9 have not been winning many games at all. The Dodgers currently at 9-2 atop the National League. They lead the Phillies by a half game, Pittsburgh by 1.5, and the Giants by 2. So they're bunched up pretty tight there. Atlanta moved to 3.5 back with their recent sweep of the New York Mets. Glancing at the American League quickly, we've got Minnesota and Cleveland tied at the top. Baltimore a half back, Detroit a game and a half back, and the White Sox 2.5 back. And welcome Bob Cole. Hey, we got two good pitchers on the mound too. The righty Don Drysdale for Los Angeles, the lefty Ken Holtzman for Chicago. The Cubs won this game 2-0 in real life. And we'll get to the lineups here, and then we'll get underway. For Los Angeles, it'll be Wes Parker leading off at first base. Lou Johnson is in center field today. Jim Lefevre at third base. Tommy Davis will play left and bat cleanup. Al Ferrara is in right field against the lefty. Jeff Torborg will do the catching and hit sixth. Nate Oliver at second base. John Kennedy is at shortstop. Maury Will's out a few games, a minor pull, nothing serious. Little touch of the flu even maybe, nothing major. He'll be back in a couple of days. Drysdale, of course, hits ninth. A 6 NR, pretty good hitting pitcher. Here's the lineup for the Cubs. It will be Adolfo Phillips in center field leading off. Glenn Beckert at second base. Billy Williams in left. Ron Santo, the third baseman, in the cleanup spot. John Hernstein will play first today. He was represented here by this computer-only card that I printed out. Byron Brown in left. Randy Hundley will do the catching and hit seventh. Don Kessinger at shortstop. And Ken Holtzman, the pitcher. I've got my coffee. We're about ready to get underway here. Again, I cannot wait for these new reading glasses to show up. However, I will muddle through with what I have. Okay, Holtzman's ready to work now. Wes Parker steps in, switch hitter batting right. The sign from Hundley. Here's the first play of the game. It's a 3-8, pops him up. Sorry, a 3-7, see what I mean? 3-7, double to 2. That's going to be a base hit for Parker to lead things off here. So out of the corner of my eye, that looked like an 8 at first. I took a second look and fortunately got it right. And welcome Kelly and welcome Joel. Glad you could be here today. Okay, Parker can run. Not a threat to steal, however, a 1-16 runner. And here's Lou Johnson. Holtzman from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Lou. It's a 6-7, single to 9. That's going to be a grounder to third base B. That'll be a 4. Sano makes a nice play on that. Down to second to nip the lead man. Parker is forced. And with one out, Jim Lefevre will be the hitter. Also a switch hitter, batting righty against Holtzman. From the stretch, the pitch. 5-10 to the righty, grounder to third base X, that's Santo. This could be two, a 1E27, and here's the play. 14, that'll be the error range. So an E27, the roll is a 7, and Santo boots it. Oh my God, can you believe it? The National League Brooks Robinson, as he was sometimes called, makes a rare error here, although he did make 27 of them that year. That's an error on the Cubs. Lefevre's aboard, first and second. Johnson, of course, takes second on the play, and here's Tommy Davis. Davis did not, he played 313 at-bats. I take that back. I was going to say he did not play a lot in 66, but he actually played about half the time. Holtzman from the stretch. Pitch to Tommy D is a 3-10. That's a single into right field. Here comes Johnson. He's going to score. Lefevre into third on the RBI single by Tommy Davis. And just like that, it's 1-0 Los Angeles. Davis not a threat to run. Runners at the corners, one down. This early in the game, the Cubs are going to play back. Holtzman, a ground ball pitcher, trying to get one now out of Al Ferrara. Here's the pitch from the stretch to Ferrara, a 1-7, swung on and missed strike 3. And what a big strikeout that is for Holtzman. Runners cannot advance, of course, and there's 2 down, and here's Torborg. So if Holtzman can get Torborg, he'll get out of this cheaply enough. That's going to be a 3-6 to the left against the lefty. Grounder to third base. That's Sano. He throws him out, and that will do it. They settle for a run on 2 hits and leave a pair. At the end of half an inning, Dodgers won, Cubs coming to bat. Day game in Wrigley. And welcome Double D. Now this is not this is not a replay that's going to go so well for the Chicago Cubs, let's just say. What was their real life record? Didn't they lose over 100 games in 66? I could be wrong. I'm going from memory now. I have some different stats pulled up on my other laptop. I mean, I could look at it, but 1-9 kind of. And Kelly, 65 or 64 even. I know after his, I think it might have even been 64. After 62 and 63, he got hurt, I believe, and he was never the same. I believe personally he was the best pure hitter in Dodger history. I know that's a bold statement, but if you look at his 62 and 63 seasons, the injury hurt him, derailed the rest of his career, basically. Never played full-time again. His defense went right into the crapper. He was a good outfielder prior to that. You can see on this card he's a 4. What is he, a 4E8 in left? Yep, +2 arm. He never had a good arm. And hi Joel, welcome. He was a good DH in the 70s. The man could always hit. It's just, I always wondered, boy, what kind of a career he would have had if he would have stayed healthy from 64 on, at least for 5 years anyway. Still holds the Dodger record for RBIs in a season in 1962. That's the all-time record, not just LA. A record that, in my opinion, will never be broken. Here's Phillips now. Adolfo Phillips, acquired from the Phillies just a couple days ago. Drysdale ready to work now. The windup on the pitch, a 5-6 fly to center field. That's playable for Sweet Lou. He's there to make the catch for the out. Here's Beckert now. Right-handed hitting second baseman. Pitch from Drysdale, a 1-9, grounder to second base. That's going to be Oliver, fields it cleanly. Over to Parker, 2 down. And here's Billy Williams now. Williams probably the Cubs' best player, either him or Santo. 29 homers and 91 runs batted in real life that season. Here's the pitch from Don now. A 2-8 pops him up right side. That's going to be Oliver again. He's got it. 1-2-3, first inning for Drysdale. We've completed 1 inning here at Wrigley. Los Angeles 1, Chicago nothing. As Ken Holtzman gets ready to go to work here in the top of the second, he'll be facing the bottom of the Dodger order, Oliver, Kennedy, and Drysdale. Take that half-inning opportunity to sip a little coffee. We had a little snow this morning, but it did not stick. More expected this evening and tomorrow. Okay, here's Oliver stepping in now, right-handed batter. The windup and the pitch by Holtzman is a 6-7, single to 9, but that play is going to be made by Santo. He cuts it off, throws across, and throws Oliver out at first. 6-7, single to 9, the roll is an 11. Here's John Kennedy playing shortstop. Pitch from Holtzman, a 5-7, triple to 1, but that's a playable fly ball for Adolfo Phillips. Can of corn as he puts it away, and quickly there's 2 down. And here's Big D now. Good hitting pitcher. Not his best offensive year, but a solid one. The pitch from Holtzman on a 3-9 struck him out. A 1-2-3 inning from Holtzman. Down go the Dodgers. And it's still a 1-0 ball game. Kind of makes me wonder, which way is the wind blowing in Wrigley today? Too early to tell, I'd say. Santo, Hernstein, and Brown do. Drysdale into the windup now. Here's the pitch to Ron Santo, a 4-10. Fly to center, shallow. On comes Johnson. He's there to make the catch. And here's Hernstein. Hernstein played for 3 teams in 1966. Would later be dealt to Atlanta. I think he wound up in the American League. Here's the pitch on a 3-4. Struck him out. Not a good year for Hernstein. He was a decent player, I think, earlier in his career. I haven't looked him up, but my guess would be we're near the end of the line in Hernstein's career. Shuffled off to 3 teams and whatnot in a very poor season. Anyway, just an educated guess. Here's Byron Brown now. Pitch from Big D is a 3-8, swung on and missed strike 3, and that's 2 for Drysdale. 1-2-3 inning, and after 2 complete, 1-0 Dodgers. The Cubs trying to avoid being swept here in their home park. And they've got a good pitcher on the mound to do it. As I said before, they won this game in real life, 2-0. Top of the order for Los Angeles. Wes Parker to start things off here in the third. Holtzman into the windup. It's a 3-5, and he walks him. Wes Parker with a leadoff walk. And here's Lou Johnson now. Parker not held. Holtzman from the stretch. A 2-10 grounder right back to the box. Holtzman has it, turns and fires down to Beckert back to first, not in time. So Parker will be forced. Johnson's at first. Johnson an asterisk 15. Holtzman, however, has a -3 hold. Hundley a 0. That would take him down to a 1 through 12, so no need to hold him on. And Jim Lefevre will be the hitter. The pitch from Holtzman is a 6-11 to the right-hander. Struck him out. So Lefevre down on strikes, 2 away. And Tommy Davis will be the batter. Davis, of course, singled. Drove in the only run of the game so far in the first. Holtzman gets his sign. Now from the stretch. Pitch to Tommy, a 1-11. Base hit into left field. Open single. Davis is 2 for 2. Johnson can try to take third on that. That's to left, where Brown's a 0. So to left is -2 already. But there are 2 out, so it's +2, -2. Johnson is 16. He'll go for it. They're going to throw. And he's thrown out by Brown on a 20. How about that? So Johnson trying to go into third. The Cubs almost surprisingly throw. And they nail him. I say almost surprisingly because I gave good thought to conceding third and keeping Davis at first. Davis, however, not without good speed anymore, made the decision a little easier. So a fine play by Byron Brown. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Bottom of the third, it'll be the bottom of the Chicago order. Hundley, Kessinger, and Holtzman do. Drysdale into the windup. Pitch to Randy Hundley is a 6-9 against the righty. That's a double to 4 and on a 4. Oh, yeah. That's going to get down for extra bases. How about that? 1 through 4, he gets the 4. And Hundley standing at second with a leadoff double. That'll bring up Don Kessinger, the switch-hitting shortstop. Drysdale the pitch. It's a 5-8. Struck him out. So third K of the game for Drysdale. Here's Holtzman now. He's a right-handed batter. Let's see how they're going to play it. He's going to hit away. The pitch is a 1-9. Swung on and missed strike 3. And for Drysdale now, that's 4 strikeouts. Leadoff double by Hundley. He's still standing at second with 2 down. It's up to Adolfo Phillips trying to pick him up here. Pitch from Drysdale on a 4-8, and boy, does he. A single into center. Here comes Hundley rounding, and he's in there. An RBI single for Adolfo Phillips, and we've got a tie ball game. Phillips very fast, asterisk 17. Drysdale a +1, Torborg a -1. That would keep him at a 17. He'll have to be held on where he'd be a 1 through 15. And with 2 outs, he's going to try for that lead, try to get into scoring position. 3 through 7 for the 1 through 15. On a 2, he does not get it. So it'll be up to Beckert. Runner held. Pitch to Beckert, a 5-10, is catcher's card X. That's Torborg, a 3E7. Here's the roll on the play. On an 8, ground ball C to the catcher. So a little nubber out in front of the plate. Torborg pounces on it, throws him out, and that'll do it. The Cubs tie it up, however, on a run, 2 hits, and leave a man. So we got a 1-1 tie after 3 complete. I want to thank everybody for stopping in today. So far, the makings of a pitching duel in Wrigley. And of course, as you guys know, Wrigley Field could go either way. Pretty much considered a hitter's ballpark. Kind of depended on the weather and what day of the week it was. It could also be very much a pitcher's park under the right conditions. Holtzman ready to work in the fourth. We'll have Ferrara, Torborg, and Nate Oliver. Holtzman with a windup. The pitch to Ferrara. Whoa, I almost knocked the camera. 3-5. Swung on and missed strike three, and that's twice that Holtzman's fanned Ferrara. And his fourth strikeout of the ball game. Here's Jeff Torborg now, 0 for 1. The pitch from Holtzman, a 3-11. Foul ball left side. Santo drifting into foul territory where he will put it away. Quickly 2 down. And here's Nate Oliver. The pitch to Oliver, a 3-5. Base hit up the middle. 2-out single for Nate Oliver. Oliver an asterisk 15. But again, with the Holtzman-Hundley combination being a -3, that drops him to a 12, so no need to hold him on. And here's John Kennedy with 2 down, runner at first. And the pitch is a 1-7. Comebacker. Holtzman's got it. Takes his time. Throws him out, and that will do it. No runs a hit, a man left. It's still a 1-1 tie. And I did not know that, Kurt. Kurt Miller, another fine source of reference here on the channel. Keep it coming, Kurt. I wonder what happened to Aaron. Aaron was good for that as well. Wow, in Idaho. Well, I live close to Idaho, and the most tactful way of putting it is they're still pretty conservative over there. Okay, it's Williams, Santo, and Hernstein in the bottom of the fourth. 1-1 tie. Here comes Williams. 2-7, fly to center. That's going to be playable for Johnson. He drifts over a bit and makes the catch for the out. Here's Santo now. Santo 0 for 1. Drysdale the windup. Pitch to Santo on a 5-6, fly to center again. This one ranging to his left a bit is Lou Johnson. And he makes the catch for the out. 2 down quickly. 2 fly balls to Lou Johnson in center. And it'll be Hernstein. Hernstein struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch from Drysdale on a 4-6. That's a single to 3, but that liner's going to find the glove of Wes Parker and retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Cubs. And after 4 complete here at Wrigley Field, it's a 1-1 tie. I wonder what the team was in Idaho at the time. What was their minor league team? God, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'll take a slight breather here. I was doing much better the last 2 days and woke up with a cough again, so apparently I'm not out of the woods yet. This frickin' weather is not helping things. You know, a year ago at this time, I was sitting out on a deck in California with my shirt off. Hard to believe what a difference a year makes. Yeah, I was out there sunning myself in January. You gotta love that. Boy, I wish I could do that now. Okay, it's Drysdale, then back to the top of the order for the Dodgers here as we move along to the 5th inning. Holtzman, the windup and the pitch on a 6-8 to the righty, and he walks him. Oh my goodness. Holtzman commits the unforgivable sin of walking the opposing pitcher. and to lead off an inning. And here's Parker now. Holtzman from the stretch. It's a 6-12 to the right-hander. Fly to left field X. That's going to be Brown. He's a 4E12. As Brown ranges towards the line, here's the roll on the play on a 1. Oh my God, that gets past him. Down into the corner. Parker rounding. He's going to go to second. He's going for 3. Drysdale headed for the plate. He scores. It's a triple for Parker. Holy crap. That would have been a tough play for any outfielder, to be fair. But Brown plays it into a triple, and it's 2-1. And now with the runner at third and 1 out in what looks to be a pitcher's duel, the Cubs will play the infield in. Lou Johnson, the batter. Holtzman, a full windup now. On a 5-4, it's catcher's card X. That will be Randy Hundley. Hundley, a fine receiver. 2E6. And here's the play. On a 3, it's a foul out to the catcher. Runner cannot advance. So fine play, Hundley. Runner holds. With 1 down, the Cubs will keep the infield in for Jim Lefevre. Runner at third is Parker. He's got speed. Lefevre, an A bunter, but now he's a B with the infield in. He'll hit away. Batting righty on a 5-10. Grounder to third base X. That's Santo, a 1E27. Santo charging it. Here's the play. On a 17. A fine play with the infield in. Runner holds. 5-3X, a fine play by Ron Santo, and there's 2 down, and now, of course, they'll push the infield back, and Tommy Davis will be the hitter. So Holtzman, again, trying to get out of this cheaply enough. 6-6 to the right-hander. That's ripped into the gap for a double. That'll score Parker easily. He can walk home, in fact. It's an RBI double. Tommy Davis. Let's look at that again. 6-6 to the righty. Double to 17. The roll is a 50. It's an RBI double. And it's 3-1. Al Ferrara will hit now. He struck out twice. Holtzman would like to get in for the 3rd time here. As he comes to the plate on the 2-11, high fly ball to deep left field. Brown back now, just shy of the track, makes the catch to retire the side. But 2 runs for Los Angeles on 2 hits and a walk. They take a 3-1 lead. The Magic Valley Cowboys of the Pioneer League. Hey, Franklin, welcome, sir. You know, Kurt, I wouldn't be surprised if Phillips was faster than Maury Wills. In fact, there were a lot of guys faster than Maury Wills. He was a good base stealer, but both Willie Davis and Wes Parker could beat Wills in a race. They used to do that on the team sometimes just for fun. Okay, it's Brown, Hundley, and Kessinger. As we move to the bottom of the 5th. Drysdale ready to work now. The windup, the pitch to Brown is a 4-4 to the righty. It's a grounder to third base X. That's going to be Lefevre, a 3E24. And here's the roll on the play. If I can pick up the dice, that is. A 6, that's still the error range. So we've got an E24 on the roll of a 9. Lefevre makes the play. 5-3X, Brown is retired. And here's Randy Hundley. Doubled and scored in the third. Hundley leads the club in home runs and RBIs so far. That's right, Randy Hundley. Let me jump this ahead a little bit. I can pull it up. 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in for Randy. Drysdale with the pitch. A 2-11 high fly ball to deep left field. Davis back on the track makes the catch for the out. So he gave it a ride. It was in his power column. And here's Kessinger. The pitch to the lefty is a 3-7 against the right-hander. He flies it into right. Easy play for Ferrara. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Drysdale. Drysdale retired 7 in a row now, and after 5 complete here at Wrigley, it's Dodgers 3, Cubs 1. Wow, already in the 6th. It'll be Torborg, Oliver, and Kennedy for Los Angeles. And welcome, Jimmy Jam. Glad you could make it, sir. Hope everyone's having a good afternoon. I'm pretty much an indoor guy in the winter when the weather's like this. But that's okay. I've got Strat-O-Matic baseball and you guys to keep me company. Here's Torborg to lead things off. Shake up those dice. The pitch from Holtzman. That's a 5-5 to the right-hander. Struck him out. That's 3, 4, 5 Ks for Holtzman now. And here's Nate Oliver. Oliver 1 for 2. Holtzman's pitch is a 4-2 against the righty. That's ground balls hit up the middle, and it's going to find its way into center field for a single. So Oliver aboard with a 1-out single, asterisk 15, again -3, so he will not be held. And here's John Kennedy, 0 for 2, playing shortstop today. It's a 2-10. That's a grounder to third. That's going to be Santo. He's down to Beckert, and that's all they'll get on the force. So Oliver forced, Kennedy to first, and Drysdale will bat with 2 down. Drysdale 0 for 1, walked and scored his last time up. Pitch from Holtzman on a 3-11. It's a tapper down to second. Routine for Beckert, who throws him out to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. And thank you, Kurt. I wondered about that. I was pretty sure he had to be the father of Todd. And he's still alive at 81 years young. Hundley was a very good catcher, I know that. Clear into the 70s. Really, it was around 69 that I really started paying. It was actually the 68 World Series when I really got baseball fever. Started paying attention more to the stats and who the players were. And in the early 70s particularly, hitting around age 14 or 15, I just remember Hundley as a standout defensive receiver. In fact, I was in awe of that whole Cubs team. I couldn't figure out why they didn't win. I mean, that double play combination was fantastic. You had Santo at third, who didn't get the attention Brooks Robinson did. But a fine third baseman all around in his own right. I mean, look how long it took him to get in the Hall of Fame, for God's sakes. Ron Santo should have never had to go to wait for the Veterans Committee, in my opinion. That should have been a no-brainer. Of course, again, it depends on what your position of the hall is. I'm of the position that it's too exclusive. It's the hardest one in sports to get in. That's a fact. On a percentage basis, that is. Bottom of the sixth, trailing by 2. Oh my God, now we got a decision. We got Holtzman leading off. What do I do here with Holtzman? They need some runs. On the other hand, their bullpen is not good. There's nobody out there you'd rather, even close to you'd rather have onto the mound as Holtzman. It's still early enough. I say Holtzman stays in. He's a right-handed hitter. It's a 6-8 to the righty. It's going to be a fly to right. That'll be playable for Ferrara. And there's one down. Yeah, I think the strategy for the Cubs is to get as much as they can out of their starter, because that bullpen has shown its ability to implode over the first 10 games of the season so far. Here's Adolfo Phillips now. He drove in the only run back in the third. The pitch from Drysdale, a 4-9, base hit into center field, and Phillips is 2 for 3, and he'll have to be held on now. 17 held on, he's a 15. And he's going to try for the lead. They got to try to make something happen. 3-7. It's an 8. He does not establish a good lead. What would he be on the second number? 15 held. He'd be an 11. No good. Beckert will hit away. The pitch from Drysdale on a 1-8. Beckert rips a single into right field. There goes Phillips showing off some of that speed. He's into third easily. And the Cubs have runners at the corners with one away. Beckert will have to be held on. He represents the tying run. 16 held on. He's a 14. They're not going to mess around with that with Billy Williams at the plate. They'll let him hit. So Drysdale in his first real jam of the day. Runners at the corners, one down. From the stretch now. The pitch to Billy Williams, a 1-8. That's a grounder to short B. That's going to be a force. Kennedy has it. Shovels to Oliver to first, not in time, and that's going to score Phillips. So that'll go as a 6-4 force. Phillips scores, RBI for Billy Williams. Beckert, of course, is forced, so now it's Williams at first with 2 down. And Ron Santo will be the hitter. It's a 3-2 ball game. Drysdale gets his sign from Torborg from the stretch now. A 6-9 to the right-hander. Double to 4. That's a single with a 2-base advance. Williams into third. And the Cubs have it going here in the 6th. Tying run at third. Go-ahead run at first. 2 down. And Hernstein, the batter. From the stretch now, the pitch to Hernstein. A 3-10 against the righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. And Hernstein goes down swinging for the second time today. The Cubs do get a run on 3 hits and leave a pair. 3-2 ball game. And from the Cubs' point of view, you don't know how badly I wanted to pinch hit for Hernstein right there. But I think in a replay, they've got to go 7 innings. Or if the handedness of the pitcher were to change, for example, if the Dodgers brought in a left-hander, then I would probably hit for Hernstein. 3 at-bats or 7 innings, I would say, would be the minimum. A general guideline, of course. But boy, I hit for somebody once before the 7th, and one of you guys called me out on it. Oh, man. So 3-2 through 6. We got a tight one here in Wrigley. I assume the wind now is blowing in. I'm reading some of the chat comments now. Franklin, as a kid, I would get the newspaper, grab the sports section. Oh, God, yeah, didn't we all do that? When I was a little older, I took a job at the supermarket just before I turned 16. Then at 16, I got my first car. I used to go down to the donut shop and get a donut and a cup of coffee and sit there poring over the box scores. That was a lot of fun. The printed newspaper, of course, is almost a thing of the past now. I don't know about you guys, but the local sports section in the Spokane paper is completely worthless. You're better off just to look up the box scores online, but I sure miss looking at them holding the paper in my hand in print. You cannot replace that looking at a screen. And Kurt says when Leo took over the Cubs in '66, he says, we're not an 8th place club. He was right. They finished 10th. And welcome, Gary. Glad you could join us, sir. Hope your day is going well. Okay, top of the 7th. Wes Parker, top of the order, to lead it off against Holtzman. They let Holtzman bat in the 6th. We'll see how that works out. The windup, the pitch on a 2-5. He walks Parker. The second time today Parker has walked, and Parker has not been retired yet. A single, a triple, and 2 walks. Not held, of course, and here's Lou Johnson. Holtzman from the stretch now. The pitch to Lou, a 3-5, grounder to short. That's going to be 2. Kessinger in the hole. He turns, fires to Beckert to first, double play. 6-4-3. And that'll bring up Lefevre with 2 out and nobody on. The windup, the pitch by Holtzman is a 2-5. Base hit into left. Jim Lefevre lines a single into left. Brown gets it back in. And Jim Lefevre has a 2-out single. And here comes Tommy Davis. Tommy's 3 for 3 today. He's knocked in 2 of the 3 runs. And now there's activity in the Cub bullpen. Not what you want to hear, I'm sure. Ted Abernathy's getting loose. But one more hit or walk will fatigue Holtzman. Let me see. Let me see, Kurt. Maybe I could be brighter. How is that? I think somehow it did get on a different setting. We're going to go ahead and let Davis bat while I wait for Kurt's response. From the stretch now, Holtzman's pitch is a 5-2. High fly ball to left field. Back goes Brown on the track. He makes the catch for the out, and that will end the inning. Brighter but not clearer. Kurt, try refreshing your whole screen. I found that to be the case sometimes when I'm watching Jeffrey's game. Let me pull it up on my better laptop. It looks pretty good to me. Well, let me try a different. Maybe that's the one I was using. Fly ball left retires the side. No runs a hit. They leave a man. And it's 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. I'm going to stretch myself, so give me a minute. I'll be right back. And we're back. The players seem fuzzy. Any better since I changed the setting, Franklin? I'm looking at it on my other laptop, my better laptop, and it looks pretty darn good to me. Again, you might have to refresh as well. I know that happens sometimes. We got a tight one here in Wrigley, 3-2. Brown, Hundley, and Kessinger due for the Cubs. Drysdale in S7, as is Holtzman, of course. The windup, the pitch to Brown, a 6-7 to the right-hander, a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Oliver, a 2E21. Ranges behind the bag. Here's the play on a 13. He's got it and throws him out. Four 3X, one down. And here's Hundley. Hundley 1 for 2 with a double. Drysdale, the windup. The pitch to Hundley, a 3-8. Grounder down to second. That's Oliver again. He's got it cleanly. Throws to Parker, 2 away. Quickly 2 outs here in the 7th. And the batter will be Don Kessinger. I've got a cup of tea going now. Left against right. It's 3-6 against the righty. Pops him up. Parker under it. Makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Drysdale. We've completed 7 here at Wrigley. It's Los Angeles 3, Chicago 2. And now the tension is mounting as we move towards the 8th. It's funny, sometimes I can make it clear through a game without having to take a Whistler, but not often at my age, I'm afraid. I always try to right before I start the stream. Doesn't always work. Okay, eighth inning. It's going to be Ferrara, Torborg, and Oliver. I'm going to look at some of the comments now. Well, that could be. Double D's playing the 1989 Cubs replay. Just got walloped 60-3 by the Cards. That was a damn good club. I'll throw you guys out a factoid. My sister, my little sister, who's now deceased, once went on a date with Ryan Sandberg. He was already dating what would become his wife at the time. And from what I'm told by my mom, she called over there and wasn't too fond of the idea. Anyway, he married her, so it all worked out. Holtzman ready to work now. The windup, the pitch to Ferrara. A 6-7 to the righty is a single to 9, but that grounder is going to be scooped up by Ron Santo, who makes the play for the out. Here's Jeff Torborg now. Torborg 0 for 3. Holtzman into the windup. It's a 3-8 against the left-hander. Comebacker. Holtzman's got it. Throws him out. 2 down. And Nate Oliver will be the hitter. Oliver's 2 for 3 today. The pitch is a 6-9 to the righty. Struck him out. 1-2-3 go the Dodgers in the 8th. And Holtzman rewarding his manager's faith and letting him bat there in the 6th. The Dodgers will make defensive changes now in the bottom of the 8th. Ferrara is going to come out. Davis can stay. He's a 4, but he can stay. Can he play right? No, he cannot. So that will not work. One, two. Yeah, he wouldn't come up to bat in the 9th anyway. Okay, I'm just thinking what to do here. Johnson's going to move to left. Lou Johnson. Davis and Ferrara were back-to-back, and they hit after Lefevre. So Davis and Willie Davis will come in Tommy Davis's spot. He'll play center. 2E12 minus 1. And Ron Fairley will take over in right. There we go. They're all set now as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Drysdale completes his warm-ups, and we'll start off with a pinch hitter for Holtzman. Holtzman pitched a fine game. Pardon me, he doesn't want to take him out. I think Torborg did manage. Holtzman went 8. That's as far as we can go. They've got a pinch hit here. Trailing by a run in the bottom of the 8th. Fine effort by Holtzman, though. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 hits. He went 8 complete. He walked 2, 3. Struck out 4, 5, 6. Allowed 3 runs. The Dodgers would have righty, a switchy, and a righty. So they want a righty. It was Abernathy warming, and Abernathy it shall be. He pitched in this game in real life, by the way. And now the Cubs will send up a hitter against Drysdale. We could use Ernie Banks, but I'd prefer to have a left-handed hitter out there. And it's going to be Ty Klein. Oh, that looks terrible. I can't even read it. That's more like it. Ty Klein will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. The Cubs trade by a run. Good to hear, Kurt. I did nothing, so you must have done it on your end. Here's Drysdale's windup now. The pitch to Klein. A 6-6 to the lefty. Tapper down to first. Parker has it. Underhand to Drysdale covering, and there's one down. So Ty Klein is retired. Back to the top of the order now, and here comes Adolfo Phillips. Phillips 2 for 3, drove in a run and scored one. Drysdale into his windup now, a 2-10. Fly to center field that's playable for Willie Davis, who's been inserted into the game. And he makes the catch for the out. Here's Beckert now. Glenn's 1 for 3 today. Drysdale with the windup. It's a 2-7. Fly to center. That's Willie Davis again. Glides over and puts it away. 1-2-3 inning for Drysdale. He's retired 7 in a row now, and after 8 complete, it's Dodgers 3, Cubs 2. Abernathy will come on now and pitch the 9th. It'll be Kennedy, the pitcher's spot, and Parker. Here's Kennedy. Abernathy's pitch is a 3-10, fly to right field. That's going to be playable for Billy Williams. He ranges to his left and puts it away. And here's Drysdale. A lot of times I might consider pinch hitting here, but Drysdale's a good hitting pitcher, so I'm going to let him hit. Abernathy, the windup, the pitch to Drysdale, tapper down to third. That's Santo. Fields it cleanly across to Hernstein, and there are 2 away quickly. So nice play by Santo, and here's Wes Parker with 2 down. He'll turn around and bat lefty now against the right-handed Abernathy. Whoops, 5-11. We don't need the split, so that counts. Grounder down to third base. Santo again. Scoops it up, throws him out, and 1-2-3 go the Dodgers in the 9th. Fasten your seatbelts. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. Phil Regan loosening in the Dodger pen. It'll be Williams, Santo, and a pinch hitter for Hernstein. And hi, John, and welcome. I used to play. I played in quite a few back when it was the TBA in the 80s. And then more recently, 2003 or 4, I want to say. In Seattle, I co-managed a team with a buddy. Actually, I could look that up. Not that it's that important. But now you've got me curious. It was 2003 with the 2002 card set. And then several of the online net play Strat tournaments on the Windows version. Okay, it's Williams to lead things off. The Cubs down by a run. There's the pitch from Don Drysdale, a 2-6, and he walks him. Lead-off walk to Billy Williams. 1-14 runner, not a threat to steal. And here's Santo now. Runner not held. Drysdale a glance over there. Now from the stretch. The pitch to Ron Santo on a 3-7. Ball 4. He walks him. Back-to-back walks to lead off the ninth for Drysdale. And here comes... No, they're going to let him face Herrnstein, or at least announce the pinch hitter. And that's what it's going to be. Pinch hitter for Herrnstein. And look who's coming up. Ernie Banks. And with that, here comes Alston, and that's going to do it for Drysdale. So Drysdale walks the first two hitters in the ninth. And the Vulture will be coming on. 8+ for Big D. 5 hits. He walked a few. Actually, he had walked none coming into this inning. I'll be damned. 2 walks in this inning. 4, 5 strikeouts. 2 runs allowed. 2 runners on base, his responsibility. And here's Phil Regan now, brought on to face Ernie Banks. First and second, nobody out. Infield at double play depth. The pitch from Regan on a 2-7. Fly ball to center field, B ? Playable for Willie Davis, who makes the catch for the out. So Banks fails to deliver for the Cubs here, and it's Byron Brown with 1 down. Brown 0 for 3. Regan leaning in to get the sign from Torbor. From the stretch, a 2-10. Struck him out. And it'll be up to Randy Hundley, who leads the club in home runs and RBIs. Hundley's 1 for 3 today with a double. Regan gets his sign, very deliberate now. From the stretch, the pitch to Randy Hundley on a 6-10. That's a grounder to shortstop X. That will be Kennedy. Kennedy a 2E17 into the hole. Here's the play on an 18. He makes the play, and that's the ball game. 6-3X. The Cubs put the first 2. Drysdale actually put the first 2 Cubs on. Obviously, the Cubs put 2 on. Actually, Drysdale put them on. And then Regan comes in to put out the fire. Abernathy in his inning retired all 3 batters to face him. Holtzman the hard luck loser, Drysdale the winner, Regan with a well-earned save. No hits, no walks, a K, 2 runs charged to Drysdale. I'm looking at the comments now before I total out the score. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you want to stick around a few minutes for the wrap-up, fine. If otherwise, I want to thank you for watching today's ball game. It was a nail-biter. Dodgers improved to 10-2. Cubs, their losing ways continue as they drop to 1-10. Clutch pitching by Regan, indeed. Regan is suing the Mets for age discrimination after being let go as the pitching coach. Wow. Well, that's big news, Kurt. I'll have to follow that one. I was not aware of that. Holy crap, he's suing them. I don't know how that's going to go, to be honest. How old is Regan? That's awesome, John. Well, you know, every time you order something from them, you get these Strat-O stickers. You're talking about that. See, I got a bunch of them here in my desk drawer. I first used this one because it would remind me that I don't want the score sheet to drop below that point. And I just continued it. For Los Angeles, 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors. For the Cubs, 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. The error did not factor into the scoring. Actually, no, it did not. It did not. Okay, let's take a look at the pitchers' records now. For the Cubs, that's the first decision for Holtzman, so he drops to 0-1. For the Dodgers, wow, that's the first decision for Drysdale. He goes to 1-0. And that's also Regan's first save. So, a game of firsts. Holtzman, the hard luck loser, he pitched a good game. 3-2 pitchers duel at Wrigley. That's the final as the Dodgers nip the Cubs 3-2 to sweep the series. Tomorrow I'll be back at 1 o'clock again, and it's going to be Philadelphia at Cincinnati. The starting pitchers will be Culp for the Phillies, Ray Culp, and Sammy Ellis for the Reds. So please join me for that. Again, I want to thank everyone for watching today and wish everyone a very pleasant good evening. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.